Hey guys, today I just quickly wanted to start a video series in which I will show you how to play all the Dark Souls 3 bosses in the game. And the reason why I'm doing this is mainly for the reason that a lot of people who have this game don't end up finishing it due to the fact that it's very difficult, which really should be the case. Because this game is a blast, it is fantastic, and it's just such a brilliant game. It really is. I mean, it deserves all the love it can get, because it's just fantastic. It is one of the best, if not the best, game I have ever played in my entire life, because it's just a journey and such an adventure. But anyway, I don't want to go off topic, I don't want to make this a review. I quickly wanted to show you guys how to do, not the first boss, but the first proper boss, because the first boss you actually fight is Ludwig's Gundyr, and he is such a joke. He's so easy, I didn't think there would actually be much to say about him. You can finish him within 12 seconds, so I didn't want to make a whole video of a guide on him. I thought that would just be stupid. So instead I moved straight to the second boss, which is Vordt of the Boreal Valley. Now, Vordt of the Boreal Valley is a very easy and simple boss. He's extremely easy. He's not difficult. He may look threatening, however he is not hard at all. So I'll quickly take you through the way to get to him. Now first, what you want to do is obviously start at the bonfire, and then you'd want to run down here and go through here. You will recognize this area. This is right after the dragon. There'll be a guy right down there, and you want to kill him. Up onto the left, there's one of them that will turn into a massive monster. You don't want him to turn. You want to kill him before he can actually turn, because they're actually pretty difficult to fight off. Now down here is a shortcut to get to this guy, and it's much more easier because you can jump off and hit him, and it will do a load of damage to him instantly, which you kind of actually want because he's pretty difficult to fight off. But honestly, I wasn't bothered to fight off. I just speed ran this. Sorry guys, I'll actually go through it in depth next time. After that, there will be a big cathedral there with a woman waiting there, but that won't take you anywhere. This is where you would want to progress. This is where you want to go, because this is the main area that you want to progress. This is where the boss is. Now, this boss room is... At first, there's not going to be any fog to transverse, so you're going to go inside, and there's going to be a massive gate. Once you get close to that gate, it's going to activate a cutscene, and in that cutscene, obviously, Vordt of the Boreal Valley will come in. Now, Vordt of the Boreal Valley is a very simple boss. Don't misunderstand, because he's easy, but he will get a little bit more difficult. Alright guys, now to get into the bulk of it, the actual guide itself. Now let's get into it. Now, Vordt the Boreal Valley, as I said before, is a very simple fight. It consists of two phases and two relatively simple phases. However, they are contrasting to each other. They are quite different. I'll describe the differences, but first let's get into phase one. Phase one is very simple. You actually want to be more offensive than defensive in this fight. Being aggressive actually rewards you more than being less aggressive, and the reason why is because Vordt the Boreal Valley has a large amount of pauses between his attacks, and those pauses by him consist of dodges, and that's what most of his movement consists of. Now, the reason why you want to be aggressive is, one, these are openings for attacks. You also want to be as aggressive as possible when rolling, because the more you roll, the quicker you can get to him, and you want to stay behind him as much as possible. That is also something you want to do. Do not be in front of him. Being in front of him makes you exposed to his attacks, and it's a bitch. Furthermore, he has no back attack. None of his attacks can swing further than behind him. The good thing about this is he has a weak spot, which is his back. He has a very small health pool, so you can kill him very quickly. It doesn't take that long to defeat. However, he has a large amount of damage. His damage is actually quite a problem, and he has a large knockback when it comes to damage. Now, all that's fine and dandy. All you want to do in simple forms in the first phase is stay behind him, stay as close as possible to him, be as aggressive as possible, but think at the same time. You don't want to just be aggressive because of the fact that when he attacks, his attacks are consecutive and very quick. Therefore, you will be exposed to a lot if you get hit by one of his attacks. So that's all you really need to know for his first phase. It's not very difficult. Here comes the hard part. At about half of his health pool, he'll get into his second phase. Now, his second phase is kind of a bitch. He does this charging thing where he jumps to one side of it and he charges straight at you, and then charges again and consecutively charges at you. You really need to be careful with these. One is they do a fuck ton of damage. It's very quick. It's hard to dodge. So you need to plan it quite well. They're easy to choreograph, so there is chance to dodge it. Also, his attacks become far quicker. He gets a lot more aggressive, and that's where you want to be a little bit more defensive. You don't want to get distant from him though. Don't think getting defensive means you're getting distant from him. You want to be more ahead when it comes to rolling, when it comes to dodging rather than attacking, because you want that. If you don't, then you're gonna have a hard time, because one is he is very quick in his second phase, and he does this charging thing that pisses you off. Now keep in mind he still has a low health pool, so you can still maul him down quite quick. So you can do this in an aggressive manner if you get a lot of attacks done and you consume your Estus shards well. However, it's not recommended. Now at this point, he's going to do a couple things, and you want to be aware of this, which is the charging thing, and he'll also do this kind of dragon thing where he breathes this like ice out of his mouth. Now this is honestly one of the best things, because one is it will be very slow, and he will do it, and it will basically leave him exposed. At this point, you can do a shit ton of damage to him, but be careful because you might get frostbitten. Even if you're behind him and he's doing that, it's like a breath of frost that he makes this like little area in front of him where he will target. However, even if you're next to him and he didn't even target you with the breath of frost, you will still get inflicted with frostbite, which is not great. However, it's not that actually much of a problem, considering at this point he should be low on health because he's just been exposed for a little bit and you can maul him down. That's the basic gist of Vordt the Boreal Valley. It's very easy, very simple. There is no real struggle to it. That's all you really need to know. Anyway guys, I'll continue the series further until we finally finish with the Soul of Cinder. Next up, I forgot who's the next boss after this, but I'll see you guys next week. I'll do this weekly. I'll see you guys next week. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. See you guys.